How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall. It's been a little bit under a week since I've uploaded, so I thought I'd give you guys another video today. And I'm wearing Aggie gear again. This is the shirt I got last year for the Battle of I-25 rivalry for the football team, which is the game that we won that year. Won the 2 years previous to this one. Unfortunately, lost this year. That's besides the point. Today we're talking about two former Aggies that played together. One of them played 4 years total, and the other one played just 1 year with the Aggies. But both, had good time, good time spent, good assets for the team. Both helped the team win 30 games in 2018 to 2019 season. In that unfortunate loss to Auburn, they lost in the Final Four this year. So, happy about that. Because Bruce Pearl, a lot of Aggie fans don't like him because of, some things that happened in the past with the Aggie program. That could be a different story. We do another day. I'll really look more into it. Let me know if you guys know anything about that, and I'll make a video on it because I think it'd be really interesting. But let's focus on these two guys I've already made Instagram posts and Twitter posts about, and YouTube community posts about. So if you guys have been keeping up with the channel and all that, you guys should already know who we're talking about, but we'll get into it right now. The first guy we're going to be talking about today is Eli Chua. He averaged about 9 points and 6 boards a game in his 4 years with the Aggies. Didn't redshirt at all, played all 4 years. His best year came his sophomore year where he averaged just under 13 a game. And his last year with the Aggies, that 2018-19 season, averaged just under 10 a game. So he was a guy that was right around, really close to scoring double digits. I'm not sure if he was a 1,000-point scorer or not because he was probably pretty close. I'm not 100% sure on that, but all I know is that this guy, gave it his all every time he was on the floor, rebounded at a high level, defended at a high level. Wasn't the greatest shooter, especially from the outside. I believe he only shot like 20% for three. That wasn't really a strong suit, but he owned the paint very well. Was a really strong guy. Really, held his own and just did really well in the paint. He could guard a lot of positions well, and that was just thanks to his strength and his athleticism. Really relied on that a lot, and just was a great player. Started a lot of games, did a lot of great things, and nothing else better you could ask for. His last year with the Aggies, he actually shot 66% from the field, with most of his shots being paint shots, but that's still a really good percentage, just under 70%. Like I was saying earlier, his sophomore year was his best year statistically. Averaged just under 13 at 12.7 a game, and he averaged 9 rebounds a game. So he averaged pretty much almost a double-double that year. I did a lot of great things, and he was a double-double machine overall. His stats didn't show it. He never had a year where he averaged double-double. But obviously that sophomore year he almost did. And his last year, he put up some good stats, and overall 9 and 6 a game. Stats don't always tell the whole story because you can look at those, and they might not be the most eye-opening. But if you just watch the game, it's like a lot of former Aggies and a lot of Aggies in general, even currently. You just gotta watch the game. Kind of reminds me of Gabe Pickens and Jacoby Osborne this year. You look at them; they both average like 2 to 3 points a game. But you just watch their impact on the defensive end and how much they make their teammates better, especially Gabe with his playmaking skills. Kind of reminds me of Shim Buchanan when he played for the Aggies a few years back. Who actually played with these guys. Only averaged like 3 points a game, but he averaged. And you look at the assists, only 3 assists. But he's a great facilitator. Defended at a high level, averaged about a steal a game. You just have to watch the game, and he passes the eye test with ease, and that's exactly what Eli did. And I'm not sure if he's playing overseas or not, but if he is or he has any, aspirations to, definitely going to pass it there too. Just like many Aggies in the past and currently again, free throws proved to be a struggle for him, but that's no, surprise. If you guys remember videos I made last summer talking about a lot of former Aggies, that was a big issue with a lot of them. Eli shot about 65% from the free throw line, which isn't ideal, but there's been Aggies with much worse free throw percentages. So he still worked hard into this thing, and super grateful that he was on the Aggies for as long as he did. Especially now, I've been talking to a lot of people. Super rare nowadays that players stay at one school for 4 years. You'll see it a lot in women's sports, especially basketball and all that. But for men's sports, specifically basketball, football, you don't see it too often. So shout out to him for that, and hopefully we can have a guy do that soon. Hopefully Gabe, Jacoby, Marvin Cox, hopefully all those guys can be guys that stay all 4 years, because that'd be awesome. They could build something great here. I would love that, and I think a lot of fans would. And again, there's a high chance I think they will, just because of them liking on my posts about them wanting to stay and making posts about how great they are. And I've seen them around campus a few times. They always seem really cool and interested in the school and the program and everything, and hopefully that's the way it is. Obviously, like I've said multiple times, Eli's second year was great, and some people might be, oh, well, how come he didn't do as great as last 2 years? I mean, honestly, you could still say he played about the same. Kind of reminds me of Jaden Harris this past year. He had more teammates, he had more help, he had more talent around him, so he didn't have to do everything. Kind of like Jaden Harris this past year, who actually recently entered the portal, which I was kind of upset to hear about because, he stayed with us, after that first year's team, after we lost a lot of guys. We're losing a lot of guys this year. He decided to enter the portal too. Peter is still a guy that could possibly come back, so hopefully he does. That'd be awesome. If not, we have a lot of guys coming in. The next video I'm going to make after this one is actually talking about some more Aggies that have heard from NMSU, and hopefully by the time I make that video, we can hear about some guys signing. I can make videos about that and get a lot more content out for you guys. Like we say multiple times, defense wins championships, and Coach Yoon's a big defensive-oriented guy, big defensive-oriented coach. just like what Chris Jans was. So that's why he's able to recruit a lot of dogs like that. I remember Keelan Dorsey, again, one of my friends from the team last year, who a lot of you guys know. I was just good buddies with him. He was telling me how crazy Coach Hooten is with his defense and how a lot of times Keelan didn't want to, do the stuff, but obviously had to do what he had to do to try to get some PT. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. The next guy we're going to talk about is Jojo Zamora, who only played a year for the Aggies. He did redshirt his previous year before that, but only had a solo year actually playing on the court. Obviously, redshirt, you don't play. But he's a terrific player for the Aggies, and let's get into him. He was a really good shooter for the team. Big reason why they won 30 games that year, went 30-5, 27-4 overall, 15-1 in conference in the WAC. Then went 3-0 in their tournament. And then, almost should have beat Auburn, like I said. But he had a clutch 3 in that game toward the end of the stretch to, still make it a manageable game to win. Averaged about 7.5 points a game. Shot 37% from 3, which is actually a little bit better than what Cook shot this year. And Cook was our best 3-point shooter this year. I'm not trying to compare the two, but that shows you how great of a shooter JoJo was. It's funny, when I was trying to find more information on him, apparently there's some singer, and then it's a chick with the same name or similar name, so I thought that was pretty funny to know. He was also just super confident in his shot. Sometimes you'll see guys who are good players or shoot the ball well, they're not always confident in themselves. And he was, and that's just great to have. A lot of times, if we had stretches where we weren't making shots, he was the guy that stepped up and knocked it down. Especially, if you come off shots where they miss badly, he knocks it down. Guy who talked about on this channel before, AJ Harris, I was watching some highlights on JoJo before I made this video more. And AJ had missed a shot really badly. And I think it was Shue McKinnon who hustled for the rebound, got it to JoJo and knocked down the 3. Those are some great Aggie teams, and hopefully, we can get back to those days where the Aggies are super, super successful. Again, great year for them this past year, having a winning year. But hopefully we can get back to the times where they have 20 to 25 or even possible 30-win seasons, just like when JoJo was there. I got a comment on that Instagram post asking where he's at now. I honestly don't know. I tried looking at some information to see if he's playing overseas, but couldn't find anything. I want to say, I thought Eli was playing overseas, but I couldn't find a whole lot on him either. That's something I'll definitely look into more and let you guys know when I find it out for sure. That's going to close out for the video today. Just wanted to focus on those two guys. I will be making a video soon talking about other players that the Aggies could possibly sign who I think could be really good for the program, and just give you guys more, videos about former Aggies. I'll talk about, maybe possibly talking about Terrell Brown. I don't want to make a video. I know that I made that video talking about a bunch of former Aggies, like maybe 9 or 10 of them. I'd like to kind of keep it within 2 or 3 just to, focus more on them and their careers, and, be more descriptive. I feel like would really help out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm out.